What's up, everyone? What's new? How many of you saw me at that guitar store today on my earlier live stream? So, my Guitar Heaven video. So I thought about it after. Brett said, "Where are there any basses there?" And I look around and I said, "No." And then there was a couple other comments about it on there, and I thought to myself afterwards, I thought it's totally weird. There must be, there's like 1,000 guitars and there's not one bass. I mean, strange, right? But the collection, oh man, there are some hilarious comments. Somebody said talking about, I mean, some of the top guitars are 20 feet in the air, 25 feet in the air. And how do you see what the prices are? And I think that's part of the thing. They don't. The guy goes up there, he gets it down from the top, and hands it to you. And then you go in one of the rooms. They have an ISO booth where you can go in and play through a nice amp. And then you get all into it, and then they tell you what the price is. Bass is a guitar. Bass is not a guitar, David. I will show you a bass that I have, my upright bass that is not a guitar. Who dusts them, Roberta? Exactly. Who does dust them? That's a great question. Who changes the strings, right? I know the 35,000, John. That's how much it was. 35 grand. Michael, you were looking for basses from the start. Very odd. And no, I thought about it after. I mean, they had a lot of left-handed guitars, which was cool. They have the biggest collection. I talked to Rhett after. He goes up there a lot. He said that they have the biggest collection of PRSs of anywhere in the world. Probably more than, what's up, Subi? Probably more than at the PRS factory. But apparently they have a back area behind where the walls were that they have even more instruments. And say they have a big online presence, so they people can buy them from all over the world. They ship them out. So it is like Fort Knox, Robert. It has no windows in it. It has no windows. And I did play the John Mayer PRS before I left. After the live stream, one of the guys that worked there, Ben, said, "Oh, do you want to check out the John Mayer Strat?" I said, "Sure," because that's the thing everybody's talking about. And he told me that they sell out of them, instantly. They're pre-ordered and they're all sold. It has incredibly small frets on it. It's it plays like a Strat. It's a nice guitar. Not my thing, but it's a very well made guitar, and it plays like a Strat. I mean, no different, really no different than a Strat. It has the input jack on the front of the guitar, old school. Really small fret wires, Subi, though. Vintage style fret wires. Waited for Van Halen. I'm not done yet, David. Okay, you can see me set up right there. I was gonna play part of it. I'm doing "Running with the Devil." I'm doing "Running with the Devil" because I have like every Van Halen song. I was gonna do "Panama," but I decided to do "Running with the Devil" because that was the first original. It was the second single off the first record, but it was the first original song that they did that I had ever heard of Van Halen. Because they did "You Really Got Me" was the first single in '78, and then I heard that and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then I heard "Running with the Devil" and I was blown away. But here is, so I've been working on tone. I got the guitar tone down pretty well, except I do not have I don't have a Charvel or anything. But here it is. Check it out. That's obviously not me. What do you think? Pretty cool, right? I want to see if it gets through the That's an amazingly good bass tone. The tone is unbelievable, right? Eddie has the best groove of all time. And then the string tree here, when he goes over the string tree, is really amazing. So anyways, I have everything to make the video. I got my sound, everything. So I just got to make sure that it gets through the sensor here. I don't think Van Halen will have a problem. Just came from live feed at Coachella. There you go, Thomas. Love it. And you guys hear that reverb? That's a plate reverb after the fact, obviously. And he's using his delay. There's no delay on the main sound. There is a until the solo. Then the solo, I believe, has as you can see here, I have this is my modded script phase 90 here. My friend Guido did the mod for me, put it back to the original old school MXR script logo. But the pretty sweet, right? Wait, hold on. I missed the reverb. You thought I named the pedal Guido? No, my boy Guido, my old guitar student who lives a mile from me, who went to Ithaca. He's modded a bunch of my pedals. Jack asks, any tips for someone who's about to release a debut single? Put it on every service, yeah, and make videos for every song. Make lyric videos and then make real videos too. Can you get a David Lee Roth scream? Let's see here. Yeah, there you go. So good, right? Oh man, that is so fun. It's yeah, it is epic. It is fun. I got some interesting comments on my blues our discussion video. Um, why do you guys think I get so many views when me and Rhett and Dave um, get on? We always get an incredible amount of views. Somebody made I kind of gave him a wise guy's response to this, but um, where is it here? Maybe I can't find the comment. Um, oh wait, I'll go look at the actual video here. Um, old guys and the new kid. Is that why? Controversial topics, maybe. 70,000 views in 2 days. Um, I'm guessing Rick never got into Korn. Korn was the last big super massive band. Come on, man. Um, um, Korn. Korn was around since the '90s. Anyways. Uh, okay, so there's this comment here. Um, um, it's too long. I don't even want to read it. Um, did the blues start with Robert Johnson? No, it started before Robert Johnson. Maybe the three names are a trifecta. I don't have the three names in there. Back to Van Halen. Um, yeah, so there you go. I mean, really, are people going back and listening to their Korn records nowadays? Um, no, they're not. Maybe some people are, but come on. Um, um, have I heard of a band named Ghost? Yes. Um, why do people ask me about bands like that? And any thoughts? I don't have any thoughts about Ghost, Daniel. How's that? I have thoughts on Greta Van Fleet, but I don't want to talk about them. Your missus was the biggest Korn fan, Ryan says, back ever. You've never seen her put their music on again. Exactly. Exactly. Do you think people say, oh, you know what? Boy, I really want to listen to Korn right now? Um, they respect my opinion. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right. That's okay, Tom. You're right. Um, um, so, what's there to talk about Greta Van Fleet, anyways? Exactly. Um, there you go, Paul. Uh, anyways, 5150 favorite Van Halen record. Not me, but I only like David Lee Roth Van Halen, and I only really like really the first four records or so. Forget Fleet, just listen to Zeppelin. Um, I love PJ. I love Eddie's solo on Ice Cream Man. It's amazing. Um, as I get older, I like Korn more. Okay, there you go. Korn and new metal did last a long time, and that was the last major genre of music that. But as that genre happened, Europe was moving on to electronic music more. Um, so, Tom, as I get older, I like Mozart more. Exactly. There you go. Uh, Andy Timmons still has some great stuff. My assistant Ken loves Andy Timmons. So does my brother John. Um, anyways, uh, what else? I mean, I'm curious to see. How can you have that many guitars and no bass and still try and take that in? I know. I'm trying to take that in too, Roberta. It's it's pretty insane. Funky Deadfish, you'd love to see more jazz for rockers. Um, how about jazz for jazzers? Um, what defines worldwide popularity? You know, stuff. Well, nowadays it's really hard to define that. Um, you can look at magazines back in the day. Look at the charts. They used to have the Billboard charts for the world. They talk about all the countries in Europe. They talk about things with um, what was going on in Japan, South America, everything. You have a video on jazz for rockers? Yes, of course I do. What's up, Ray? Um, as I get older, I like John Coltrane. Michael, there you go. So merch. I've got merch. I have merch. Go to, and I added more merch even. Um, um, uh, Paul says you need a corporation. Paul, you don't need to use foul language here. Get your point. Um, baseball cap and mug with no cap, right? No, no caps right now yet. But the mugs have formulas on them. Okay, this is a Beato special. So, no problem, Paul. No caps. Um, so I have the triad mug. We have the melodic minor mug with all the formulas for the scales, so you can memorize them while you're drinking your coffee in the morning. You can look at it. Double harmonic major, all those weird ones, awesome. I think it's on there. I think Aaron was putting it on there. They should be up there right now. So check them out. T-shirts are blends. They're 50-50 cotton and polyester, just like all mine. I only used polyester and cotton here. So that's Beato approved right there. This is a 50-50 right here. Very comfortable. And it looks black when you. It took me a lot of T-shirts to get the right color and figure it out that only blends look truly black on video. Otherwise, super low grade natural, Jari. So I used altered dominant only because jazz players. I learned jazz players use that term. I use super Locrian, diminished whole tone, and altered dominant. What's up, Nari? I learned the diminished whole tone scale when I was in high school. The altered dominant scale was the first. I learned it as diminished whole tone. My guitar teacher in high school, Glenn, taught it to me. And he says, he said it's called diminished whole tone because half of the scale is diminished. He didn't really, it's half of the scale is half whole diminished. He didn't say that, but then the other half is whole tone, the top half of the scale. But really, then you start to see super Locrian. You'd find it in books, but you would. But then everybody that I knew, every jazz musician in the 80s called it the altered scale. They would refer it to altered or altered dominant. Because it was more descriptive of how the scale was used. That's why. And that's why it's deceptive because it has a flat 4, which is the natural third in it. But the use is the most important part of it. So that's why you should know that it's, the formula and related to the altered dominant scale. Obviously these things are arbitrary, and there's many different. That is one scale that they have multiple. That there are multiple names that are accepted for it. I did not see Amy Roberta. She got stuck in Detroit. She was going to be here for a couple hours in the afternoon, but she ended up getting stuck in Detroit and didn't. She was actually just coming through here on a layover, and I was going to go to the airport and see her, but it didn't work out. So, Gavin asked, "Can I suggest some jazz for newbies? Something that's not too crazy." Well, I would say, Kind of Blue, probably. That's right, PJ. You're right. I would say start there. Even though it's kind of old, I would say Keith Jarrett Standards Volume 1, but try that. Keith Jarrett Standards Volume 1. Have I ever done any corporate gigs, weddings, bars, that type of stuff? I've played a few bars. I've played weddings. I've played at friends' weddings. I've never done a wedding gig. I don't do corporate events. And I typically only did gigs where I could play whatever I wanted, whether it was original music or I would play jazz gigs where I could play whatever I wanted. So, anyways, that's Um, yeah, kind of blue. You played at a friend's wedding. Honestly, didn't really want to do it again. I know it's weddings are very high pressure. I've never liked every wedding I've played in. The people have gotten divorced. That's pretty funny, right? That's I've been you've been doing them for 19 years. Ouch. Sorry, Ryan. Um, that is actually true. I did not buy a guitar today, David. No way. I won't spend $4,000 on a guitar. I won't spend $2,000 on a guitar. Never. Um, never. Bad luck, Beato, right? One of my best friends got married, and he had me play this Christopher Parkening, the arrangement of Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring. And he got married in a tent, and they had just a ridiculous, almost a tornado when during the ceremony, and that was pretty ominous. His marriage lasted 19 years, but 18 years, but what a disaster. I told him they shouldn't get married. But anyways, what's the average money for a guitar? Jim asked. In that store, I'd say $1,500. I don't know if I saw a guitar under $1,000 there. Um, 53 Les Paul didn't have a Tune-o-matic yet. They did not. That thing was, he did divorce her. She hated music. I don't know why he married somebody that hated music. That guitar, the 53 Les Paul, was so mint. It was unbelievable. I don't know how people buy these things and never play them. It's I tried out a Sir guitar, the first guitar that my buddy what's wrong? Why is this thing doing this? Why is it doing that? Oh, I think you do this. There we go. The first guitar I tried out was a Sir from the 90s, and it looked brand new. And I said, how does a guitar be in this kind of condition? The person never played it. And he said, I mean, no buckle rash on the back, nothing. And he said, well, the guy had about 100 guitars, really, really famous, really expensive guitars, and he never played that. I mean, really, it's ridiculous to buy a guitar and not play it. I think it's ridiculous. Tom, you played the Parkening version of Joy of Man's Desire at many weddings? I know, right? I only played it at one wedding, but you couldn't hear it. It was literally raining so hard. This was on the tent. Thundering, and I'm just playing. It's like... I practiced it. It was inaudible. I could have been just playing nothing and no one would have heard it. David, you sold it 175's Director of Earth, Wind & Fire asked him if he played. He says no, he collects them. Well, is 16 too late to start jazz piano and start expecting watcher in the UK 330? No, Joel. Of course 16 is not too late to start jazz piano. I didn't start playing jazz guitar until I was about 16. Subi, only play guitars that are out of the cases. The rest get preserved. There you go. Everyone know about the free Cakewalk? Is Gibson putting out Cakewalk again? What's going on with that? Yeah, the 53 reminded you of Spinal Tap. I know. I thought the same thing. Did I find out how many guitars they had? You know, Lance, I have no idea. I asked Rhett. He said he thought maybe, I don't know, 600 to 750, something like that. You figure if every one of them cost $1,500, well, we know one of them cost 35,000, and some of the Sirs were four to 6,000. They were doing some at 4 o'clock. They had some company that was showing their stuff, and the guitars were kind of hideous looking. I didn't play them. They were really bizarre. Never too late to start anything except tryouts for professional sports teams. That's true. Under the Bed never played. Julian, you just got here. Did you miss Van Halen? You did miss Van Halen. That's right. I'll play a little bit again here so you can hear it. I'll just give you a little guitar because I like hearing it. So, am I going to upload it tomorrow, Julian? VH is so in the pocket. I know, man, they're so in the pocket. Eddie's feel is ridiculous, ridiculous. It's incredibly well recorded, unbelievably well recorded. I got the sound pretty well too. This amp I have right here is modded with the Jose Hernando mod. Whoops, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm quiet. Okay, so sorry about that. This particular amp here, this amp is yeah, it's back. I know. So this particular no, Van Halen did not play with a fixed wah. So that sound is that particular one. A lot of times he played with an Echoplex with one repeat on it, a Phase 90. Some of the things he used on certain songs he used the MXR flanger, and then he had a plate reverb afterwards. So that's yeah. So this particular thing has the Jose Hernando mod that is hot wired like Eddie's, to sound like Eddie's sound. It's really a great. This sounds just like it. And I'm sure that there was EQ on the console. That's probably where it came in. Yeah, so love this amp. Tubes in that amp? I have no idea. I can't remember. Thomas, you're looking for DAW Reaper. Logic can't decide. Well, it's hard to say. How important was the Variac to his sound? Pretty important, I think. He used to tell people that he turned up the Variac, gave it more voltage, but he actually starved it for voltage. So he kind of lied about that. Um, the beginning of the song. Um, I think that's where the brown sound, where the idea of the brown sound comes from, is because think of a brownout. When too much power is getting sucked out and your lights dim, you know that's what a brownout is, and that's what the whole idea of the brown sound is. It's it's um, it's you're starving the amp. You're um, you're starving it. It's kind of like you ever notice you can get some really cool sounds if you have your batteries. Um, if your battery's going dead in one of your pedals. Um, um, that's kind of similar idea to me. Hector, what's up? Oh my gosh, the man. I haven't talked to you in 30 years. Wow. I wondered what happened to you. Where are you living now, Hector? Man, that's crazy. That is insane. I see you on those old Iden videos, Hector. You're in every one of them, man. I haven't talked to you in, oh my God, since the late 80s. When is the Van Halen video coming out, Rob? It's not 3 a.m. It'll come out tomorrow sometime. Um, Eddie said he liked the sound of old brown strings. I don't believe any of that stuff. I don't believe any of that. That's just all. That's just all. You know, it's like Jimmy Page saying he was. All the rumors about him being into, living in Aleister Crowley's home and being a Satanist and all that. Claude, you have a feeling it'll be blocked? Well, that's why I'm testing it out right now. As far as doing the song, I already know. I already know everything that I'm going to say. Uh, I can get through it in no time. So, so making the video be very easy. Thanks, Yorkshire. It won't be blocked. There are tons of Van Halen on YouTube. He'll be fine. I think you're right about that. That's why, Julian. I agree. They have tons of stuff on there. I don't see Hector writing back. Hector, what's up? Try boiling your drum heads. I boiled strings one time. It was pretty dumb. Charlie, your wife yelled at you again? You told her you can't talk right now? Oh, man, don't get me into trouble. Series of theories. Any thoughts on the video after Van Halen? Man, Eric, let's do one thing at a time. Buddy Rich never practiced. Yeah, I don't believe anything. Any of the stuff you read, you don't believe. So, it's only hold on one second here. Hold on, I'm texting something. Um, If it's on the internet, it must be true. Abraham Lincoln. There you go. Hassan, what's up? Honest Abe. There you go. Will I review any Radiohead song in the future? Well, I don't have any Radiohead tracks really. Not of any of the songs I want to do. And I mean, I don't need to have the tracks to do these things. You know, that's inconsequential, but it's probably easier to get flagged when you're. What's up, Brett? I was talking about you earlier. Um, I was laughing about your there's no bases in that place comment. I kept thinking about it all night, and I kept thinking it was weirder and weirder. Um, so, oh, Hector's in Miami. I missed that. What's up, Hector? Miami, come on up, man. Write me on my Gmail, rickbeato1 at Gmail. Let's catch up. Been way too long, man. I want to know what you're doing. Um, please write to me. So what was I going to say? I forgot now. Potting, pickup, and wax definitely worked if you want to get rid of feedback. Um, such a great medium. What were we talking about? Um, Jari, truth has no opposite in reality. What is false simply does not exist. Um, I always I love the saying, a lie can be halfway around the world before the truth gets its shoes on. You know, if you say something enough, you can get enough people to believe it. Oh, easier to get blocked with full songs. Yeah, I think it's easier to get blocked with the full songs. I try to, you know, if I play the stuff in sequence, I need to play the stuff kind of out of sequence a little bit. I'm going to try different things. So we'll see. But there are songs that I want to talk about that I don't have tracks for. I mean, I don't do these based on what I have tracks for. Although it's interesting to people, I think, to play the songs with the tracks, obviously, right? Um, so yeah, let's see here. Let's see here. That sounds killer, right? That's how tight Michael Anthony is. Man, that kick drum and bass is so dead on. Yeah, I have some Radiohead. I have some Radiohead tracks, but none of the ones of songs that I would do. Um, Michael Anthony is totally underrated, Claude. I totally agree. My mic volume is up. Is it distorting or something? Um, do a session on great rock rhythm sections. That's good. That's kind of cool. Oh, mic volume and track are flamming. Sorry. Here, let me turn down my mic for a second. I want to play. Okay, so Eddie said that Michael can't play bass. Come on, give me a break. It's ridiculous. He had to teach him his parts. He had to teach him that one note. Give me a break. I mean, these are just guys that hate each other. And Michael doesn't hate. It's Eddie mad at him, and he just says that. I mean, what is that? You know? Come on. What is that? Really, it's ridiculous. I mean, that was. What's he gonna play on that? You know, Jeff Berlin licks or something. You know, why would you even say something like that? Why would you even say something like that? It's ridiculous. But you know, musicians are ridiculous. I mean, Eddie kept smoking after he had half his tongue cut out, right? I mean, you know, like what? Whatever, too. You know, whatever makes you happy. But that is totally in the pocket, and that's way before Pro Tools, 30 years before Pro Tools. Totally, totally immature. So you take everything that musicians say with a grain of salt. Hector, what was the location with Iden above the stationery store? There is no video. We did not do video with that. That was the place was called Dance Circle, I believe. Hector, you remember that one? I have the recording to it, but you remember it like it was yesterday, right? I played one of the tracks from two of the tracks from that a few weeks ago, and the video got taken down. I think because of something else I played. Many people are inherently dense. That's body knowledge. That's very well put. Did I ever work with the old Echoplex machine? Of course. That's all there used to be. Why does music need a human element? Well, you got to have somebody to create it. You need some type of human, I guess, unless you yeah. The masses are asses. Nice, Ray. That's pretty good, man. I will quote you on that. Long Trang, what's happening? Low IQ is a real factor. It is, Subi, unfortunately. Hector, you still have the tapes. Dance Circle, Iden. There you go, man. Unbelievable. The D major piece. It's you know, there's a lot of just so much dumb stuff that goes on out there because people can't reason for themselves, unfortunately. I always equate it to not enough music training and listening to too much low information music. But why do people like all synthetic music? I don't know. You know, think about it. Back in the 80s, it's not like EDM is a unique thing. Back in the 80s, awesome, Hector, please do. Back in the 80s, there was a lot of MIDI. When people were discovering MIDI, they had programmed drums on tracks. They had keyboards. Everything was done to a grid or tempo, even though it was done on tape. And then there'd just be the vocals on there and maybe, you know, some guitar. But, and tunes that I like, too. Tunes that I really like the sound of. So there you go. But obviously, people listening to low information music produces low information thinking. If you listen to complex music, and you analyze it and play it, perform it, um, I think people can reason and realize when they are being fed things that are not true. Obviously, I mean, there's obviously things that we hear every day in the news that all you need to do is use some basic reasoning and say that does this sound true? And usually, if it doesn't sound true, it usually isn't true. Most things are pretty basic like that. In the clubs, they cranked up the bass. Brett says bass, pulse, and drums. All you need to dance at 100 dB. That's right. And you're losing your hearing at 100 dB. When I first got my tinnitus, I was incredibly neurotic about wearing earplugs everywhere. I mean, I was producing all the time then too. Logic is the training wheel of intuition. Jari, you're the man. That is great. I like that. I'm copying that. I'm going to keep that. That's going to go in my Rick quote bin here. Feel free to add any to that anytime. So anyways, I would go around with my app that did a decibel meter, and I realized that 85 dB is you don't want to get above that. And I realized there were restaurants that I would go to that would have such bad sound that they were above 85 dB. And then I started thinking about the kids being exposed to that all the time. And I mean, we don't go to these restaurants anymore, so I think you don't need. Okay, a Wookiee says, I think you don't need to listen to tons and tons of high information music to help your critical thinking skills and be pretty intelligent. Though, don't ever ditch it entirely. I'm not sure what that meant. But obviously there's people that don't know anything about music that are critical thinkers. But most people that I know that are that are great musicians are incredibly great critical thinkers. All you have to do is read their writing. Say what you want about Keith Jarrett. Read anything that he's written. Listen to Oscar Peterson speak. There's listen to any jazz player speak, pretty much. Any great jazz player. Listen to Chris Potter. Listen to Wynton Marsalis. These people are incredibly intelligent people. You may agree or disagree with them, but Reed Meldau. I mean, these people are brilliant people, thinkers, that are able to improvise like that because they're incredibly. They have a fluency with their improvisations and they have a fluency with their thinking. Watch Vinnie Colaiuta doing an interview. Vinnie Colaiuta never says never. He has no umming ever because he's so far ahead of what he's going to say. Lonnie, corporate America doesn't want to foster awareness. Once you just drink 6 packs, go to sleep. Corporate America wants to sell you stuff, which is pretty much what every corporation is in business for, though, My sister was asking me what I think that they're going to do about Facebook. And I said, they're not going to do anything about Facebook. She said, what do you mean? And I said, because people are going to keep using Facebook. That's what are they going to do? As like people that Mark Zuckerberg goes in there and they don't even know. They don't even know what questions to ask him because they don't know how anything works. So, and Tyler, I totally agree. Our education system would benefit tremendously from moving from the sports from focus from sports to music. But I would say this. I would say include music and sports because I think they're both really important. I think that they're both really important. Um, so, you know, Paul deleting Facebook 2 months ago. I don't like Facebook. I still have my Facebook account because people contact me on Facebook, and that's the only reason I keep it. But anytime I open my Facebook app, I would close it. Or if I open it on the computer, I always close it and delete my history after using it and then go to another website so I don't see, ads for the, guitar pedal I want to buy on Facebook or wherever or on Amazon. So I'm not followed around with stuff like that. Plus, I never click on any of the, I don't ever go on the timeline or anything like that. I don't ever look in the news feed. So, practice 12 hour days, lift 2 hours, sleep the rest. There you go, Jack. Sports are incredibly important too. Exercise. They, Subi, you just updated your MySpace status. I would have my students, I mentioned this before, but my students that had bad rhythm, I told them that they should jump rope every day. Jump rope to music. Jack, every musician should be able to do 10 pull-ups. God, I wish I could do 10 pull-ups still. Eric, you bought the French toast. How much did you pay for it? $35? Believe Rick. There you go. 2008, internet was pure awesomeness. And drink raw eggs. About $35. Okay. Horowitz said if he didn't walk every day, his fingers didn't run. Yeah, exercise is incredibly important for timing. Obviously, there's a lot of coordination involved in playing an instrument, a lot of physical coordination. So the better, you are, the better fitness you have. It's all about your synapses firing, and I mean, obviously, there's some people that are incredibly unfit that are great players, but it only will help you to be in, to exercise and do things because your brain, it functions far better on when it's, when everything's working properly. Good exercise for battling depression and insomnia, exactly. Dexterity, that's totally true. I was, obsessed with playing sports when I was a kid, much more than music. And I played sports every day. I think that sports helped me immensely. I think it helped my music abilities dramatically. So, what sports did I play? BB drums. Well, when I was a kid, we played, everything, basketball and baseball. I didn't play football. I only played pickup football because I was very thin. Um, but I played baseball up to junior high, and then I played basketball up till ninth grade, and then I started running track in seventh grade because uh, back where I went to school, I had a really big school district. That we had our high school was over 2,000 students. My graduating class was about probably close to 700 people, and our coaches would use gym class to see about recruiting kids for different sports. They'd do things, you know, Long Train. Quit asking me about the band Ghost, okay? I've already talked about Ghost today. I don't need all the whatchamacallums to see. I'm ignoring your thing because I've been asked about Ghost about 5 times before you got on today. Anyways, so love you though. Right, Paul? Anyways, so we would, the coaches would the coaches would, do different things. You'd play baseball in gym class. You'd play football, and they'd see if people had natural ability on these things. And when I was, we had this thing, the Presidential Physical Fitness Award, that everybody would try to get starting in third grade or so, and they had it was actually a great thing because they had these different badges. You get the gold, the whatever, silver, gold, or the Presidential Physical Fitness Award, and you get these little patches that you'd sew onto your gym shorts, and you'd have to do. They'd have a series of activities that would be the shuttle run, where you run and you pick up something, a block of wood or something, run back, drop it, go a little further, come back, go a little further, come back. The 50-yard dash, the broad jump, standing long jump, the 400 meter or 440. We didn't run 400 meters. Pull-ups, sit-ups in 60 seconds. And when I was in gym class, so I went to track, and I was very fast. I was a very fast sprinter, and I could jump really high. Even though I'm not that tall, I'm 5'8", but I could grab the rim when I was young. And in gym class, I remember we did the long jump, which I jumped about 20 feet. First time I ever did it. And I was in 7th grade or so, and that was further than the people in that were on the track team that were in high school. So, and then I did the triple jump too, which I did over 40 feet. And the coach was, I jumped 23 feet when I was in 8th grade in the long jump, which was very far for when I was 14. Then I broke my ankle, and I had a limp I was in a cast for 13 weeks. Summer of that year. That's when I learned to play the guitar. But anyways, so that's why I got into track, and I've told this story before, but I went to college on a track scholarship. But I So I did a long jump. So to 23, over 23 feet, I could long jump. And then my triple jump was over 46 feet. I graduated in 1980. But and I ran the 100 and I ran the 200. My 100 was 10, I don't know, 10-9, something like that. And the 200 was 22 something. Never pole vaulted, no. When is my autobiography coming out? Never. It's right now. I'm doing my autobiography. But I remember that I was telling Dylan that I could. This room is 18 feet across, and I said, "Oh, I could jump across this room, not lengthwise, but I said when I was that age, I could jump out into the hall there. I could jump clear across this room, no problem." Any wrestlers here? No. But I was naturally fast though. I think that goes along with people that have natural technique on instruments too. The room is 43 feet this way, this room, and about 18 feet this way, something like that. But yeah, but this way, I'm in the middle of the room right now, and that's the one end. This is the other end there. It's about 40. It's 43 feet. Anyways, but David, you're jumping rope right now. That's good. Fast twitch muscles. That's right. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna go here because I need to see if my Van Halen thing is gonna get taken down or not. So this video may be up later. Go check out my merch. Go to the website. Buy my mugs. Buy the ones with the scales that you don't know and learn the modes and what their formulas are. I've got harmonic major. I've got double harmonic major. I've got harmonic minor, and I've got melodic minor. I don't have a major mode one. And I have the triads mug for you to memorize all the triads, everything within a fifth. You guys are awesome. Awesome. I want to see pictures. Send pictures of you drinking your coffee. Ryan, you got a mug? Nice. Anybody that ordered things at the end of the week, they should be coming. You should have them probably Monday or so. You guys are great. Look out for the Van Halen video tomorrow, midday. All right?